Buck-Davidson, I use the Equilibrium Air Light Cross Country Boot because they're ultra protective, lightweight, and they don't absorb water.
Hi, I'm Liz Brown. I'm the vet for the British team. I've worked with the British eventing team since 2005, and then I've been the team vet since 2009. So I've been to several European Championships with the team, 2 World Equestrian Games and the London Olympics. I really enjoy working with the team. I've always been enjoyed eventing as a sport. So I rode a lot when I was younger, and I've competed. But most of my time is taken up by working and working as a vet. And in the UK, I have a practice where I'm mainly involved with performance horses and a lot of event horses, also some jumpers and dressage horses and some race horses. But the teamwork is really enjoyable because it adds that variety to the day-to-day job. I really enjoy the competitive side of the sport, and I love coming out with the team to competitions. It's really good to come out. Like at the moment we're in Kentucky at Rolex waiting for it to start, so we've travelled for 3 or 4 days to get here. We flew the horses from Amsterdam, and then we went up to Chicago and came quarantined there and drove down from Chicago. The horses are all settled well in the horse park now. My day-to-day involvement with the horses on a trip like this is to make sure that they get here in as good a state as they can to be fit to compete. So we monitor them all the way along. We make sure they're drinking well, their temperatures are good, and then any minor problems that we can sort out before they become an issue. And then obviously during the competition we would keep a close eye on the horses. The main time when as a vet you're working quite hard is on the Saturday, like during the cross country, as the horses come back in, and then on the Saturday evening just really checking for any injuries, any minor problems, and making sure the horses are feeling really good for the Sunday morning to trot up and do their show jumping. So because obviously after the cross country we really want them to jump to the best of their abilities, and you know that it's just all the minor problems, the stiffness and the soreness and a few issues. Sometimes they've lost shoes and sometimes they've knocked themselves, and we have to kind of make sure that they're 100% for the following day. But I do really enjoy being involved with the competition side of things. I think going to a championship with the horses is always really exciting, and we have a build-up throughout the year to work out, the selectors obviously work out which horses we're going to take, and during the year we kind of have quite a lot of horses that at this time of year we're anticipating we might be able to take for a championship at the end of the year, because in Europe we'll always have a championship every year because we have the Europeans. In the years there's no WEG or Olympics, we have a European Championship. This year we've got a Europeans at Blair, and because it's a home championship we're allowed to take 12 riders and horses, which is a great thing for our country because then we can give opportunities for younger riders and up-and-coming riders to compete. So that's really exciting to have some new combinations on a championship team. And then I think one of the hardest things is when someone's put so much work into preparing a horse and then it gets injured before they really get to go to their championship or to their major event. And I know with some riders I work with, there's so much effort that goes in, and it's when they have these real big disappointments one after another that it becomes so a real kind of trial for them, and it can be quite depressing when you kind of know that they put the work in and it's just a bad luck that sometimes the horse has got injured. But obviously mainly my day-to-day work is in trying to make sure the horses are okay, so we try and prevent those injuries happening. So we make sure the horses are sound, that they're comfortable through their backs. We work a lot with physios and chiropractors and other therapists to make sure the horses really throughout the season are kept in as good a state as possible to try and prevent an injury happening, because obviously once you've got an injury then it takes a long time to get that horse back on the road in most cases. So the benefit of our system in the UK, and we're very lucky that we have sponsorship from the lottery and the UK sport, that we can work with these horses throughout the year. So the horses that we brought here, several of them I know really well. I've worked with them for years, and I really know all their ins and outs. We've got a really good idea of what bits of their body are sort of their limiting factors, and then how to manage those. And sometimes you get horses when they're younger where they have some issues, and you think, well, actually, is this horse ever going to be a top horse? And it's really nice on those horses where you can manage those issues. You can work with the riders and the grooms and their home team, their home vets and their physios and people, and just make sure those horses are trained in the correct way and got fit in the correct way, and they can come through to a 4-star or to a championship. And it is really nice, I think, because then you know them and you know which bits of the horse, like if I trot them up, I'll know whether that's normal for that horse or not normal for that horse, and I'll know whether their legs normally feel like that. And I think that's the bonus of working with them throughout the year, is that you really get to know whether anything's different. And we have a great bunch of people to work with. We have a fabulous set of grooms, and they're really so good at doing their job well, and they're so enthusiastic and also so meticulous about what they do. So it's really, from my point of view, that's really helpful, because I know that if there's anything that's gone wrong or anything that's slightly different, that they'll tell me, and then we can help to sort it out. And the riders, we also have a great bunch of riders, because they are all fairly easy people to work with, quite straightforward, and you know, that always makes everyone's job easier, and it makes for a really good dynamic in the team. So yeah, that's kind of a really good thing about working with I think with event riders. They kind of are quite good sort of people, where because there's a lot of challenges out on the course, and they don't tend to get stressed behind the scenes as much, or not outwardly anyway. I do love coming to I love coming here to Rolex, because it's really welcoming when we come, and the people look after us really well here, and it's really nice to come. I also love Burley, because I worked as the stables vet at Burley for about 9 years, and I worked in Leicestershire for quite a few years, so I know all the people at Burley, and I love that event as well. And it's lovely I love the events in France. I love Pau and Saumur, and Buccolo's a fabulous event, because they look after everyone so well, and they're so friendly. So I think it's just, there are so many great events to go to, and obviously then in England we have badminton, we have, you know, which are fabulous kind of venues. So we're very lucky with the eventing, that there are so many kind of really nice events to go, and then when you've been so many times, you get to know the people who organise it, and that's nice just to go back and see the same faces each year. I don't know. I think it'll be exciting to go to Rio, because I've never been to South America at all, and I know quite a lot of the Brazilian riders, because a lot of them are based in the UK, and also some of the Brazilian vets I know quite well. So I think that would be great to go to Rio and see that you know, all the just the setup there, and hopefully we'll get to go there in 2016, and then you know, probably this year for a test event this year as well. But I do enjoy doing the eventing. I kind of don't really have a great desire to do the job in the other. I enjoy the jumping and the dressage, but I kind of almost feel I know the eventers and I know the event horses well, and that's a kind of a great niche to kind of be involved with this sport.